Republic of China. This is Song Win.
And watch this now. That is one of the best double layouts I have ever seen. Tremendous height and power. We saw Charles Lakes earlier, got a 9.0 on that. This competition's wide open now. Nice pass, a front somersault to a back with a full twist. Oh, very
Win pulling out all of the stops here, Peter.
He sure is, and you know, he got the highest score in the prelims, a 9.75. And this is a perfect Chinese tumble well and also perform beautifully constructed exercises. Really nice corners with a lot of rhythm. There's another punch front 1.25 somersault.
Song Win also #1 spot on in the team competition, so he not only has skills and grace, as you can see here in the floor exercise, but indeed Chinese.
That's right. We'll be seeing him in major international competition. Here's a dismount. A good landing could give him a top score. Back a little hop on the landing, but that was an excellent routine.
Republic of China. This is Song Win.
And watch this now. That is one of the best double layouts I have ever seen. Tremendous height and power. We saw Charles Lakes earlier, got a 9.0 on that routine. This competition's wide open now. Nice pass, a front somersault to a back with a full twist, punch front somersault. Very nice.
Song Win pulling out all of the stops here, Peter.
He sure is, and you know, he got the highest score in the prelims, a 9.75. And this is a perfect example of how the Chinese tumble well and also perform beautifully constructed exercises. Really nice in and out of the corners with a lot of rhythm. There's another punch front 1.25 somersault.
Song Win also in the preliminaries won the #1 spot in the all-around in the team competition, so he not only has skills and grace, as you can see here in the floor exercise, but indeed all around for the Chinese.
That's right. We'll be seeing him in major international competition. Here's a dismount. A good landing could give him a top score. Great double back. A little hop on the landing, but that was an excellent routine. That's going to get a really good score.
Well, Song Win, who has only a 9.6 to beat as he jumps here, and by all means, as we look at that, only a slight hop on the dismount, he could have it.
That's right, and here comes that opening tumbling run, a tremendous double layout. Watch the lift off the mat right there. Look at the height. Amazing and a perfect landing. You can't do it any better than that, Sam.
Well, Song Win, who again I pointed out is very consistent, and you can see why, as he possesses all of the skills.
And his routine was packed with difficulty. Watch this change of direction. It's really a new phase in gymnastics where a tumbler will go backwards, hit the ground, and then go forward again. Here it comes. He does a back somersault with a twist, hits the ground with his feet right there, and now he's flipping forward.
Well, the scores are in on Song Win, and it is a big one. 9.85, and he is the leader now, with only a former Olympian, Scott Johnson, standing in his way of winning the floor exercise here. Scott Johnson, again, the Olympian on the Olympic gold medal team from Lincoln, Nebraska, and the University of Nebraska on the national championship team in '81. Got away from it for about 9 months, says he loves the competition, and here he is with a big opportunity.
And Scott is a very good tumbler. He's always been good on floor exercise. Here's his mount. Nice, full twisting double, stuck it cold. That's a great start. Second tumbling run, a double pike, good landing, a little over-rotated, but not a major break. It's going to be tough to beat that 9.85 mark, however. Scott can afford no, even minor mistakes in this routine.
By the way, you saw him come very close to the lines. They are allowed to touch the lines, but not outside the lines on the floor exercise.
And that mat, of course, is 40 feet by 40 feet. They have to stay within that boundary.
Peter, how about this exercise so far? Is he
excellent? No major breaks. Front 1.25. His feet came apart a little bit. A good dismount. It's going to make it close, but I'll tell you, the tumbling is not quite as powerful as we just saw, not quite as much amplitude. Here comes the dismount now, the last run. Nice double back, and he stuck it cold. That could be close.
Well, he's got to beat a 9.85 by Song Win of the Republic of China, and that's Scott Johnson. Excellent routine. Just a few minor breaks, only 23 years of age, has been in gymnastics for 13 years. Loves it so very much. Let's watch the dismount again.
And here's the dismount. This is typical of Scotty. When he needs to do real well in competition, he always does. You can always count on him. He proved it in Los Angeles. He's proving it again here. Look at that double back. Perfect landing. That was a great exercise.
Scott, by the way, who finished 6th in the all-around in the McDonald's Nationals in Jacksonville. and that came after only one meet of competition since the Olympic Games. So he's well on course, and certainly his floor exercise here as Scott Johnson tries to catch Song Win of the Republic of China for the floor exercise championship, and he has a 9.85 in which to try to beat. And the tension mounts for a moment, and the score is now up for Scott Johnson, and it is a 9.65. So Scott Johnson will place second behind Song Win. Well, one of the outstanding people in the world of sports, Peter Uberoff, here by this crowd at the Forum in Los Angeles. Scott Johnson, we have the third place medal. This is the bronze to Guo Ling Xiong, 9.6 in the floor exercise. A gentleman who enjoyed his climb to the top of the award ceremony platforms as a member of the gold medal Olympic team, Scott Johnson, second place, 9.65. Peter Uberoff with the silver medal. And the winner, the gentleman who took the all-around championship earlier in the team competition already held, Song Win, 22 years of age, 114 pounds, 5'2". Home now is his home, and he is now the champion of the floor exercise and leading his Chinese team here to their first win in the individual competition with a gold medal from Peter Uberoff. And there are your three winners. Well, Peter Uberoff, a very busy gentleman, but not too busy to stop by and visit with our man here, Peter Corman.
Mr. Uberoff, it's been a year now since the Olympic Games, and in retrospect, what impact has gymnastics had on these summer games?
Well, I think it was a sport that captured the fancy of the people all over this globe that we all live on. And it was special in that it showed friendship between nations. China coming for the first time in history of the entire Olympics. They never came before. Romania defying the Soviet boycott to come, and a great U.S. team, men and women's team. And so it captured the fancy of the people in the world. In China, they've shown the Olympic gymnastics 100 times on television.
And what do you think the future is for our sport of gymnastics?
I don't think it could be any brighter. I mean, it's such a, first of all, it's a great sport because it conditions the whole body, and the public is catching it on throughout. You know, you see little schools opening up in every little small town. So I think it's great for this country. But China, you remember, this is their first Olympics was ours. They're going to be a power. All the Eastern Europeans are becoming a power again. So it's going to be tough competition.
Well, thank you very much, and a sincere thanks for all you've done for amateur athletics and especially gymnastics.
Well, I'm always going to try and help all of amateur athletics, no matter what the sport is, and this one is a great one. Thank you.
The East meets the West, China versus the United States. The McDonald's Gymnastics Challenge continues in a moment with the men's pommel horse and women's vaulting. Southern Illinois, graduate of 1983, and he works here on the pommel horse.
Brian was third this year in the U.S. Nationals on the pommel horse. He's tremendous, does a very difficult routine. Look at that flare work and extension. Real good. He was rough in the prelims, so I was a little worried seeing him go into the finals after missing a routine, but he looks great. He had a nice hop in a flare position. Here comes a dismount. Right to a handstand. Wow, what a great routine.
Nice indeed for the national champion, Brian Babcock, 24 years of age. He has been virtually plagued with injuries and now feels that he's put it all together, and what a time to do it. After the Olympic Games in 1985, at 24 years of age, let's watch that dismount again.
Flare hops right to the end, a loop in the flare position. Now watch the lift right there. He pushes off the horse to a handstand. Perfect.
Well, Brian, who said he was feeling the pressure of being the national champion, but felt that he was healthy, and that was the key to maintaining his stability. And, of course, quite obviously having an opportunity to be at the top. We will be showing you not only the pommel horse, but also the vaulting events for the women. First opportunity to take a look at Chen Chi-Jie.
Good start, a tremendous Sukahara with a full twist. That's a very high-valued vault. She did it extremely well. A little step on the dismount, but not a major break.
She is only 16 years of age at 4 feet 10. and weighs but 71 pounds.
Here it comes. Good takeoff off the board. Watch the push with her arms right there. Nice twist. Legs together. Good form. And a fine landing.
Well, the score has been posted for Brian Babcock on the pommel horse a moment ago. 9.60 for Brian Babcock on the pommel horse as he performed just a moment ago. Again, we're putting the pommel horse and the women's vaulting together for you here. Each of the women vaulters will have 2 vaults. They must be different, Peter. And then they'll take the 2 scores and average those scores for their score that they will receive on the vaulting.
That's right, and this is different from preliminary competition where they can perform the 2 same vaults and take the highest score. So a lot of times in finals, a girl's not used to doing that different vault, and she can run into trouble. There's a layout Sukahara. You can see her take 2 or 3 steps forward. Not as good as the first vault, so that's going to hurt her score somewhat.
Chen Qingzhe, you take a look at her. Again, a youngster from the Republic of China. And she's 16 years of age. In 85, the Asian junior champion in Seoul.
And here comes that laid out Sukahara. Watch her body stretched in the air. Comes up a little short and has to take those steps forward. That's where the deductions came from.
So as she waits her scores to be posted here in the women's vaulting, our first opportunity to take a look at the women in competition. The men are preparing toward their next competitor in the pommel horse, Huang Xianhua. Xianhua comes into this competition as one of their outstanding athletes at 21 and 84. The Moscow News Cups was first in the rings, but on the national team, and feels that he has a great opportunity and is going to grasp it here as he gets ready for the pommel horse exercise.
And Kwang also had a rough time in the preliminary rounds, scored a 9.3, almost fell off, ran into a lot of trouble. Nice mount, 2 back Mortrellos, 3 back Mortrellos on 1 pommel. That's a very difficult mount. Good swing, good extension. Working very well. Here comes his scissors, which are requirements on the pommel horse. You must do them forward and backward. Those are the forward ones. Getting ready for the dismount. There's a flare. Nice to a back stock layout, right to a handstand. That's a good routine. I think the difficulty wasn't quite as high as Brian Babcock's, and he didn't swing quite as hard, but that was an excellent exercise.
Huang Xianhua was the first of the Chinese on the pommel horse. And the dismount, a key here for sticking the event, so to speak.
This dismount was originated by the Russian gymnast Belozerchev, the world champion. Circles from the middle right to a handstand at the end. That capped a fine performance.
Now we move back to the women's vaulting, and you'll get a look at Tracy Kalor. Tracy, what a delightful young lady she is to visit with. 15 years of age, a 9th grader from Orfield, Pennsylvania. Works with a parquet stopper. Bill and Donna Strauss working with her. She's 5'10 and a half, 83 pounds, and she's ready to start vaulting here. As a matter of fact, just a few feet from us, so we have to keep it somewhat quiet here.
And Tracy is a good vaulter. She got a 9.75 in the preliminary rounds. Here comes her first vault. Nice Sukahara layout, a little pike in the air, but not a major deduction. She also does the Sukahara with a full twist, which will probably be her second vault. So she has 2 very good vaults.
Tracy, who finished 6th in the all-around at the McDonald's Nationals in Jacksonville to make this national team for the very first time. By the way, Chen Qingzhe's score was 9.47. That was the average of the 2.
And here's that first vault of Tracy's. Nice push off the horse. A good landing. You see her body pike just a little bit in the air. Not a major deduction.
Tracy again has to change the next vault. 2 scores added and averaged. An 84 and 83 junior champion in Tucson and in Chicago.
Tracy's one of our youngest stars. I think she's going to be a great gymnast. Here she comes for her second run. Sukahara full twist, done very well. 1 little step, but that could move her up in the standings, that's for sure.
Tracy Galore, you have seen her as she has performed here at the McDonald's Gymnastics Challenge and waits her score. And again, her activity, you don't see that beaming smile. It is all concentration down that runway.
It sure is. She means business. Look at that push off the horse. Nice twist. Spots the ground. And 1 step back. Great vault.
So as Tracy Kalor gets ready for her score, we'll be pointing that out in a moment as the men's pommel horse continues at the same time.